They're doing it. They're doing it. Doing it like a preacher man. Doing it on a one-night stand. Doing it like old grandpa. Doing it like a fly on the wall. Everybody doing it, doing it, doing it. Everybody doing the day. Everybody doing it, doing it, doing it. Everybody doing the day. They're doing it like the FBI. They're doing it act like Superfly. Doing it for a second chance. Doing it for a song and dance. Doing it like a big fat lie. They're doing it on a phony smile. They're doing it in an automobile. They're doing it on 4 flat wheels. Everybody.
Oh, we're going in now. We'll see you kids later. Oh. Hey, everybody. Oh, yeah. Good to see all of you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Good to see all of you. Thanks so much for coming this evening. Well, I just know, had I not seen or watched television in 1950, I certainly never, oh yeah, for these last 30 years, I certainly never would have been the host of the longest running live primetime musical variety show. Oh yeah, you know, we're working on our 1,000th show. I'm 5 away. Oh yeah, we're doing what we can. And yet, you know, well, my hope of television is run amok. I thought it was going to be the biggest thing in whatever. But I've gone my way. Oh, and it feels so good. Tonight we're going to be joined by a dancing turtle. Little Green Turtle's going to share his stage with us. Dance around a little bit, see what he can be doing. Yeah, and we're going to do what we can because here hanging with us is a busy little bee. Oh, I think she's been in the music scene since any time. Oh, she's got a new release out. It's called My Best Game. Not 10, but 15 tunes written by her. What a fine release. And I'm just thinking about, she has a beautiful liner note. Open it up and look in there. And it says, without you there, there is no me. There is no me. Kimrea is with us this evening. I'm so pleased she's here. She's also joined by her band Dreamdogs. Put your hands together for Kimrea. Yeah. Oh, I know we've got a scene coming. Tygarjas, Twyrls, Bigstyck. He's the author who believes in creation, not to be confused with creationism. Well, it goes on a journey that lasts for thousands of years. And Tygarjas shows how not to make matters worse, but how to teach human beings, yeah, that it's possible to make things better. Oh, his book is the spiritual book. He believes in love. Believes in love more. Believes in love more. This is the second book. Pretty darn cool. It's coming after Passenger, which was his first book. The name of the book now, Chronicles of the Angels of Eden, Volume 1. Once again, Tygarjas, Twyrls, Bigstyck is with us. I'd like to take a moment to give all of you something good in your heart if you can receive it. And if you can't receive it, won't you send out your best light? Won't you send out your best light? Oh yeah, make it dance around on the cable car. Make it shoo through your teddy bear. Oh yeah, you better do what you can to continue making your life. And put your hands together right now and welcoming on our stage, Kimrea Dreamdogs. Yes, boo, 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 boo.
Running uphill, I carry the weight of the world. Running uphill, I trip and stumble. The world keeps rolling on without me. And here I am, continuing my journey, racing downhill, chasing an escaping dream, racing downhill like a mountain stream. The dream drifts off like vapor. I capture bits and pieces here and there on paper and in my memory like treasure. And it's all so awesome to me. It's more than I can comprehend, beyond belief or disbelief. It's bigger than I am. Treading flatland, plodding through the mundane. Treading flatland, fading into gray. The world keeps on rolling. I come to a standstill till something compels me to struggle up the hill again. It's all so awesome to me. It's more than I can comprehend, beyond belief or disbelief. It's bigger than I am. And it's all so awesome to me. It's more than I can comprehend, beyond belief or disbelief. It's bigger than I am. It's bigger than I am. Bigger than I am. It's bigger than I am. Dear Mr. Billionaire, I hear you are a real success. You got the power, you're a big deal now. And making money, you're the best. You got money, making money, making money. Money, 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 money. Money, making money, making money. Money, 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 money. The numbers rise exponentially. Homeless people in the street. Families without enough to eat. Workers slaving to make ends meet. You just can't get enough. The numbers keep on rising up. Wars for oil, a billion refugees. Poisoned air, polluted seas. You got money, making money, making money. Money, 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 money. You got money, making money, making money. Money, 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 money. Dear Mr. Billionaire, I know that you don't care. You just keep on making deals. Winner take all night, cheat and steal. What goes up will one day fall, and everything will come crashing down. When them that's got it take it all, and them that's not, they go without. You got money, making money, making money. Money, 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 money. You got money, making money, making money. Money, 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 money. So Humpty Dumpty, build your great wall. Sit up there and watch it all fall with your ill-gotten gain and your crony thieves, sinking deep in your swamp of greed. From Commander King, the numbers are insane. Everybody playing the same crooked game. You can deny the facts, you can shift the blame. In the end, the truth is plain. You got money, making money, making money. Money, 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 money. You got money, making money, making money. Money, 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 money. You got money, making money, making money. Money, 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 money. You got money, making money, making money. Money, 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 money. All right, I'm glad you like that. We're going to tell you a true story now. Another true story. Joe's got to switch up his guitars, Mr. Joe Lococo, the indispensable one and only Joe Lococo, and Russ Whitehead on the bass, and Robbie Bean on the drums, my heroes who are here with me. Are you ready, Mr. Lococo? Without you, there is nothing.
That's right. Okay.
Okay. Willie's down in the basement, his head between his knees. Willie's down in the basement, out stone cold in a junkie sleep. Earlier this evening, out on the street, I saw him underneath a lamppost looking watching the scene, looking for the action. I could see most everything. Well, there was Dandy Red, strutting his stuff, and now he's crumpled like a car wreck. Told him that it's just so tough. Willie's down in the basement, his head between his knees. Willie's down in the basement, out stone cold in a junkie sleep. I heard somebody shouting, get him out of here. Who let him in the door? You know he can't sleep there. Dump him in the alley, it's just another day. Oh, you know it's nothing personal, it always ends this way. Willie's down in the basement, his head between his knees. Willie's down in the basement, out stone cold in a junkie sleep. Willie's down, yeah, Willie's down, Willie's down, Willie's down, Willie's down, Willie's down. Willie's down. Willie's down. Down, yeah. Willie's down.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Whoa.
All right.
Kimrea.
Thank you very much.
Kimrea and Dreamdogs.
Very cool.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Kimrea and Dreamdogs, yeah. What a nice, nice piece. My best game. Boy, that's a lot of words there. My best game. Wow. Well, let's see. What do I put? I think Money, Money, Money is going to be like the big hit. But we'll see. We'll see. And I think I told you when I opened up the show that she put to her friends, without you, there is no me. I mean, isn't that sweet? Yeah, man, that's pretty damn big. Pretty big, yeah. That was Joe Lococo playing a guitar out there. Very, very, very nice to see him again. Now, was it Jim Reitzel was kind of producing the piece, and Kimrea did most of everything else. My God. Russ Whitehead, oh my God, he's a wonderful cat. He's been all around the scene. Yeah. Robin Roth, it was really moving. It also, this is the 7th CD that Kimrea has done. Yeah. She's sitting next to me now. She's had her drinks and she signed a lot of autographs, and she's here. And why don't you guys put your hands together for her, and we'll do a little bit of talking. Hi, dear. Wow, you're looking good. Thank you. Thank you for coming. It's a big deal. Big deal. God, and it would this is a brand new CD. But what were you doing today?
I'm working on the next CD.
Working on the next CD?
Yes.
What in the world?
Their songs, they must be recorded or they don't exist. You know, I have thousands of songs that I have to go and find every single person. And would you like to hear my 1,000 songs? Just stand there for a minute. I got to record them.
I mean, you are really a person that can do that? I mean, you write all these songs and then you...
I remember most of them.
Wow. They come in dreams? They come in, how do they come? Just any way,
All
any
kinds
time?
of ways.
Yeah, of course.
All kinds of ways. Sometimes I'll just hear somebody say a couple of words passing. Sometimes I'll see a piece of paper on the floor and it has a few words, like Charlotte's Web a little bit, you know.
Yeah. God.
Yeah, and then
You've had that all your life?
all my life,
right?
Yes, it's a problem.
That's a problem, yeah. Well,
It's a problem.
I don't know when I think of you, though. I mean, you've I don't know how many times you've been on the show over the years, and it's been many years that you're hanging in there. You're doing really wonderful. You've got a nice place to stay. You got just great musicians. One of these musicians you want to talk about?
Oh, all of
All of
them.
them, of course.
Yeah, they're all fantastic. And Joe and Russ have been with me for 20 years.
Isn't that something?
It is.
Well, because you
Nobody
got
else has
everything.
ever been with me that long,
Yeah.
except my daughter. But she
I
didn't
was
have any
just thinking about
choice.
your daughter. I haven't seen your daughter, and the last time I saw you,
But actually,
probably.
and she then left me.
Yeah.
She grew up and off she went. But
That's
these
it.
guys will never grow up, and they'll never leave me, you see, because they'll never grow up. They'll always need me.
Well, and they're playing so well, and when you're with people for quite a while, I mean, you get in a groove.
Yes,
groove doesn't
and you
go
get
away.
a sound, and you get
Yeah.
a feeling, and it's a family, and it's comfortable, and it
yeah.
feels good, and I look forward to it every time, and
Well,
I get happy.
I look forward to just having you here, and we haven't seen you in a while, and
It's been a while, yes.
I've had all sort of things happening, and then but it's great because you're hanging in there. This is a great, wonderful thing about what we're doing, and I'm right at the top of the list or the bottom of the list. We've been there. We've played with a lot of different people. Most people in America don't know us necessarily, but that's not the point. The point is you got doing what you're doing. You're doing really well, and that's a huge thing. It's more than a $10 million person or something. But I mean, you'd like to have the money. Well, how did you write Money, Money, Money? What a great song.
Well, just take a look.
I know. Tell me about it. We could go into about an
That
hour and a
song
half.
wrote itself, I have to say. I just, watching what's going on, and I've been watching it
Me too,
forever, and
yeah.
I've always been a bit of an activist. So
Me
it
too.
was really, those sort of summed up what seems to me is the situation of the inequality and what it's doing and what we're doing to the planet and what we're doing
Oh, I know.
to,
we're
the
ruining
working
our
class
water and
the
everything else.
water and the air.
Yeah.
But we're making lots of money.
Well, that's
not
the
us, of
situation
course.
no.
No,
This is
not
this is
us. We're not making a lot of
unfortunate.
money.
What's been happening with the local people who are running our government. And by the way, I mean I knew about this guy at least 50 years ago. When you'd see his name in a newspaper and it would say the Trump
a con
he
artist,
wouldn't pay
yes.
he wouldn't
Right.
pay a bill. He didn't
No,
do
yeah.
this for that.
But this
he
is not
backed out
about
on this.
him.
Oh, it's about all of the people that believe in what he's doing.
No, and I don't want. I the song is my talking about it. Otherwise,
that's good, right?
Yeah, that's my talking about it because it's not. It's a whole parcel of people. He's just a front man for
agree.
a
Of course.
whole situation.
Well said. Now, is it every weekend or something?
No, every Monday for the last 20 years. I've been at the No Name Bar in Sausalito.
That's got to be some kind of a record.
It's so fun. It's my funnest night and that's how I start my week. I stay up, I work all day, and then I stay up until 2 in the morning, and then I go to work in the morning again. That's how I start my week. I'm always really fresh because I'm full of the energy from playing, and it makes me feel good. But then Wednesday, I'm really pretty useless, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't come across in your performance this evening.
Oh, it's Wednesday, isn't it? Oh, never mind. Well, see, I'm playing. If I'm playing, I'm happy.
I know, and it's a big deal.
It is. It is. It makes me happy.
Of course, your mom and pop have passed this, right?
Oh, my
They
dad
gone?
is still alive. He's 90. He drives. He
God.
lives alone. He's just crazy.
Isn't that something?
No one will ride with him.
No, I'm not sure I would either.
But we didn't want to ride with him when we were kids either. So
Oh, is that
he's
right?
a crazy driver. Yeah.
Wow. Where's he? I mean, is he
Michigan.
living around here? Oh,
Michigan.
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 That name has come into my head just a few times in the last number of days. I wonder what it means. Maybe I'll get a job in Michigan.
No, not me.
No?
No.
Too cold? Too much
Many
water?
things I don't like.
Too much
I left
freezing.
Michigan 18, and I don't really like to go back. Yeah.
But
It's a pretty state.
I read a number of Hemingway, and he would talk about Michigan a number of times, and I was just out here. I didn't really know that I ever wanted to go there again, but that's it. You're here. You're liking it here. You're loving it. A little bit later, if you don't mind, will you come by and play another little piece for us?
Sure.
Because we need more than just one.
I'll be happy to play another. Well,
Anything you want to tell me or tell anybody out there that you haven't seen in a while?
oh, well, hi.
Very, very, very good. All right. This is Kimrea. We'll see Kimrea a little later on. And God, thanks so much for being here. You're a wonderful girl.
Thank you.
You're wonderful.
You're wonderful.
Wonderful.
You're the
Put
one.
your hands
Look
together.
at you.
She's a wonderful.
Still doing it. Awesome.
Thank you. He'll come over and take that off for you. Yeah. Okay. Oh God, look at you. You got this 5 lights on your what you call it? Huh? Well, they look good. Yeah. It just feels kind of good to be here. And this, well, we got maybe 5 more shows, and then we're out of here. And that initially on the introduction, I was talking about my thought for the idea of this coming into television, as they call it back then, coming into the purview of all the people that had a set, and then they could learn and try to figure out what's happening. It was a learning experience, I thought. And then sort of the money issue sort of taken over, and there's a bunch of clone cakes or whatever you want to call them. I don't know, but that's what's happening, and it's probably good that and I say it with a heavy heart, that I'll get out of it, because that's not ever what I wanted to do. Just kind of get into a thing, learn a little bit, kind of chill out and all that. So that's pretty important to me. Oh, I got a little green turtle. We haven't seen you in a while. We thought it might be good to just put you up there and let you dance a little bit, because we haven't really done that. Have you seen Little Monkey? Look, huh? Aren't they cute? Yeah, you both got small stomachs. Mine's bigger than that. Yeah, they're cute. Of course, it's Incredible Fool.
Thanks, Chris.
Oh gosh. So let's have Little Green do a little dancing and kind of move it around, maybe shake it up a taste, and then we'll see what else we got going, okay? All right. Okay. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Get down there, let's go. Oh, yeah. Get down there, baby, baby. Oh, little green turtle, you sure brought it back into me. I guess I needed it. Ain't that funny? Yeah, it's funny. I needed it. We all need it. We all need a touch of, letting it go. And I'll tell you, the last months or so, people have been passing away left and right, and I've been not feeling so good. And it's nothing different. It's always gonna hit us all. But it's always good to kind of go out and do it. My wife went out and did a little dancing, and then we had 3 people carry her to the car. Just kidding. Her friend Diana was with her too, and she's in real good shape. But what do they call it? The dancing? I forget it. What do they call it? Dancing? I can't remember. Huh? Oh, line dancing, yeah. Can you believe that? What a wonderful, wonderful way to get out and shake it up. I just never was so good that way, but my wife loves it. She's really, really good. And I guess her friend that went with her, she's just a dear. She was our neighbor next door when we were living down in this town. And they go out and have a little bite to eat and go do it. Hey, I understand Taco Bell down here in this part of the coast is now they're selling beer and wine. Is that cool? I don't know. I guess it's okay. Yeah, I guess it's okay. All right. Well, geez, this is going to be a nice little fun time for me because our next guest has been writing his book. He's been writing it forever. And it's a large book. I think it was 500, 600, 800 pages. I can't even. 450 something. But boy, I sort of kind of put him in a Hemingway thing, but really different. And but he's quite good at. One of the things I thought Hemingway did was, take like a sentence, but then it turns out to be a paragraph. And he's really good. He's got a wonderful way of writing that can take you in. What's happening? What's going on with the book? Well, he's sitting down here. We'll talk to him and see what we got. What's going on with him. His name is Tygarjas, Twyrls, Bigstyck. Did you hear that? Good. Yeah, here's the book. Now we've got it up here. We may have even gotten a picture of it earlier. I'm not sure. Oh, hi. Yeah. I wonder who did the work on this. I'm going to ask him. Chronicles of the Angels of Eden. Now just think about it a second. What does it mean? Well, Tygarjas is here, and I'll ask him what does it mean? Tygarjas, Twyrls, Bigstyck is sitting next to me. Put your hands together for him. We'll do a little bit of yapping. Good to see you, man. Thank you for coming.
Good to be back, Bruce. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah. Really cool. Boy. What a great time. You must be absolutely thrilled to have the book done.
I am. It took a long time to get there, and to have it finally in print, I'm very happy, and it turned out just about where I wanted it.
I appreciate that. So people are saying, well, what now? So what has happened? What is this book about?
Sure. So the book begins with these angels having a conversation with God shortly after Adam and Eve have their episode, and they're wondering why God would put them in a situation where inevitably this would come to pass, and God replies, well, if you think somehow you can help them in a way that I'm not giving them a fair shake, eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil yourself. Yeah. You'll be in a state of being capable of maybe helping them in some way, and go ahead. And so at that point, half the angels eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and immediately they go from this kind of ethereal form to a corporeal, earthly, human form, and from there they do their best.
Unusual thing. Now, how in the world did this come to your mind that you could write such thing? And how is it you picked out like Methuselah and other people in the mostly what some people might call Bible people.
Sure, yeah, biblical figures, biblical characters. With the original premise, it was just that conversation between the angels and God.
Yeah.
And it was predicated on various other folks' philosophy that this wasn't necessarily a matter of choice so much as God was setting them up for this to happen for some reason. And so that was the conversation based on that premise. With someone like Methuselah, this is somebody who supposedly lived longer than any human being.
960-something years, right?
969 years.
Yes.
But if you do the math, he dies right around when the flood hits. And this is the grandfather of Noah. So to my mind, if somebody lives that long and then they die by God's hand rather than getting a ride on the ship with their grandson, they must have really screwed up. That's one of the tropes in this book, is a long life sometimes means that you pissed God off long enough to live that long, to experience having to live with yourself because you screwed up.
And some of those are angels that piss God off.
I don't think the angels so much pissed God off as were given a divine opportunity, not fully thinking through that God doesn't necessarily think in terms of minutes to get a job done, but perhaps eons to get a job done.
I had an uncle, his name was Wilhelm Godoff. Moving to another. So I was also thinking about Methuselah. In his life, he went out and he wanted to get food. Why in the world did he want? Who told him to do that? Was it God? Was it his mom or dad, or who told him to go out and get the food? And then his parents got pissed at him because he got too much food.
Right.
And so what's the story on that?
It's a case in point, and a greed mentality is the premise. And really the Bible itself doesn't say anything, the Hebrew Bible itself doesn't say anything about Methuselah. And the name Methuselah itself can be translated in one way as holder of the spear. So because he was old, because this was a variation of his name, my mind just thought, okay, if he lived that long and died in the flood, he pissed God off somehow. If his name is about holding a spear, maybe it has something to do with murder and gluttony.
This is great for me, because I love the way you write, and oftentimes I don't give a damn. I can say I'm not quite sure what some of it means, but it's a big deal to me, and I have no problem saying that. It should be, if you don't know what's what. Are you like a biblical scholar? Did you go to any? How is it you came up with these sort of euphemisms?
Well, sure. I studied religious studies at Tulane University, and as I was going to school, I went in for writing, but God was this heavy question mark in my brain, and I figured, well, if I can kind of cross-analyze all the world religions and find a commonality, maybe I can find the heart of what this God thing is about, and if there's any truth to this God thing, surely it's contained in all religions. And so that was where my study came from, and after finding an answer that suited me just fine, that influences a lot of where my storytelling goes as a result.
I like it. You jumped on that on that thing, just kind of explain what's what. I was one of these little rascals that when I was a child, I had to be put into a foster home because my mom and dad had split up, and then mom got tuberculosis. Then we had to go and live in foster homes. And these people were rascals. I mean, they would just beat the shit out of you. And they were, so of course, a very Christian type, and they did some terrible things to us. Yeah. So that turned me against the whole thing. But
who could blame you?
Exactly. But that changed as time went on. And then I did not exactly the same as you, but I went to all different sort of religions. Learned as much as possible, sort of thing. And then try to sort it out myself, and that's more or less where I'm at right now.
Big believer of seek and ye shall find.
Isn't that true?
Oh,
boy. Yeah. Believe less, love more. That's a pretty big deal. I sort of like that. You don't go to church, right?
No. Every so often I'll attend a service of some sort, but I don't regularly attend a specific service.
You don't write in the morning, do you?
I write whenever I have an opportunity to have a pen in my hand.
Got you.
If I have the time, I'm there.
Yeah. Who did the art cover, the book?
I don't know. The service I went through provided an artist. We didn't meet. I asked for a specific image, and they made it happen beautifully.
Have you, do you want to tell who the people are that published the book?
Sure. Virtual Bookworm Publishing published this book.
Yeah, they're pretty well known too.
They do great work.
Yeah. All right. Are you sad to remember it's been 50 years since Woodstock? Now, what does that got to do with anything?
It has to do with everything. Peace,
right.
love. This
You
world
got
would
it.
not be as pleasant, I think, to live in if not for these premises loudly proclaiming themselves 50 years ago in such a way.
You know, I mean, really, I watched it was on the local KQED thing, and I'm thinking, God, they're really down to the bone. They're running out of things to put on, and they did, and I don't think it was very good. And then that woman, Marinucci, she's a nice lady, but she looks burnt. She is toast to me.
Yeah.
But I don't, you know, I'm it's nothing terrible about anybody that's that way, but anyway, I did see that, and I thought, why would somebody be doing that? Anyway, any great authors that you sort of liked, you enjoyed? What's happening with you that twisted or helped you or pushed you or brought you back to a style that you do now?
Well, I've always been fascinated with biblical stories. They're interesting to me. The way they've been interpreted or misinterpreted, misrepresented is interesting. I go into some of the Hebrew meanings of words in this book to try and clarify some of the original intent. After that, a lot of spiritual reading and personal meditation practice.
Do you ever get into archaeology and stuff, and dig? Besides the writing, I mean, can you get further into it? I don't know.
Yeah, I think since the focus has been the text itself in this instance, looking at the original meanings of these words as it was originally written by the original authors.
That's a hard thing, man.
It's almost linguistic archaeology to a point.
Yes, of course. I don't know, because times were different, ways of thinking were different. Yeah. The brains of people at that time
vastly.
It's just like, wait a minute,
Just to understand that the name Adam could mean mankind, that the word Eve could mean the spirit of the living. It totally changes the nature of the story if you're looking at it from a more holistic idea of what these words could really represent, especially to the original audience in the tongue it was originally written in.
Which came first, the chicken or the broth? What?
Definitely the chicken.
That's right.
Definitely.
Actually, which came first, the title or the story?
The conversation. So actually, the term Angels of Eden, years before this book, so it's the title that came first. I'm not much a musician. I've sung backup on rare occasion, but I thought, what a great name for a band, Angels of Eden. I think there might actually be a band with that name.
There might have been somewhere at some point.
But I didn't realize there was already a band, and the name just came to me, and I thought that would be a great name for a band. And as I was writing this, I thought, well, story about angels eating the fruit from the tree and becoming human in form, perfect title.
Did you know that we're going to go into like a 3-minute thing on his another project that he's dealing? Cool. Is that at this time or the next time? Thank you. Well, I mentioned I spilled the beans, but that's all right.
No worries.
Listen, we'll talk about it momentarily. Is that because there's so many people in the audience want to know? Is this it? Is there going to be another book?
So this is volume 1, part 1. When I sat down, when it occurred to me finally, I'm writing another novel. I actually wanted this to be Genesis and Exodus all in the same volume. And what I didn't realize was it was going to be a lot more detail in each of these seemingly on the surface simple stories.
Amazing.
And that it would take a while to flesh those out. So after a few years went by, just focused on these 8 chapters of Genesis, the first 8 chapters of Genesis, it occurred to me, well, I think I should cut it off now, call it part 1, because this is plenty enough for a part 1 of a volume 1.
I don't know how the hell you stop, but I do know.
Yeah.
It's like you're going, wait a minute, are we going too far? Sorry. Here, have one of these.
I've been working on this for a while. I want to get it into the public, and this right here is the perfect break point.
I think so too.
And,
I course, I mentioned earlier you're doing a lot of different things in your life just to pay your bills and all that. And you're on the local Pacifica City, not the council, the planning commission.
Planning Commission, though there is a joint study session coming up next Monday night, 5 o'clock. It'll be broadcast live on this channel, channel 26.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about the general plan, which is like the Constitution of Pacifica. So I'm not a city council person, but I will be there with city council and the rest of Planning Commission.
You're a planner, but you're right now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
And
I think it's wonderful. 'cause
I'm honored to be included in that personally.
It's a big deal. Somebody obviously said, yeah, I want this guy because he's got a brain in his head and he can figure out what's going on.
And it's humbling, and hopefully I, don't mess things up too much.
I'm not sure on our time thing, but
Maybe even do
you're
better.
also with you got a fundraiser coming, and I can't think of the name of it.
The Palmapalooza. It's a
Palmapalooza.
mouthful.
Oh,
The Pacifica Resource Center's annual fundraising event, the Palmapalooza.
right.
It's happening September 14th at the Moose Lodge to raise some money, some much-needed funds for the Pacifica Resource Center. They do amazing work helping this community. 1 in 10 families already are helped by the Pacifica Resource Center. It could be as many as 4 in 10 if everybody who could be getting services were getting services. I want to take a moment because we have these sponsors, these big sponsors, Kaiser Permanente, Grocery Outlet, the Sam Mazza Foundation, and of course we're co-sponsoring with Recology of the Coast, our top sponsor. And thank you for all these fine folk who are contributing to this wonderful event, along with various council representatives, planning commission, city, anyone in the city is contributing. State lawmakers are also contributing to this, so it's for our community, I think, a pretty big deal and heartwarming. And as you were alluding to earlier, the theme of this year's event is Woodstock. So again, peace, love, because if we're going to be helping each other out and making this a stronger, better community, you're darn tootin' it's built on the premise of peace and love first and foremost.
Well, isn't it great, and isn't it good that it sounds fine? It doesn't have to rhyme. It goes well with what I was talking about in the beginning of the show. It's like, what's happening? What are you doing in your life? What money isn't going to do it necessarily for everybody all the time.
Well, money could be doing it for everybody all the time if we were using it the way it was supposed to be used, and that's exactly the point, I think.
That is a good point, and
if that money were used the right way, everybody here is thriving.
I think so. I know that you're working at a local place here, and everybody knows you and thinks you're a great guy. Do they come up and they get your book and you ask you to sign it?
It has happened, and heaven willing, it will happen again.
Did you eat that little thing I gave you?
Yeah.
About 12 minutes, you're going to start coming on.
Oh, wonderful. I was hoping to have a good evening. Thank you, Bruce.
I don't know what else to say. This is really, really easygoing and fun and gentle. And I would like to, because we lived here for 20-something years, have met more, and there are more, and there were more people that was kind of easygoing and kind of gentle and not full of just BS crap. And they're okay too. Everybody's okay.
That's an invitation to all come out now. All come out, take each other's hand, and show us all how it works. Show me how it works, please.
That's it. Just do what you can. That's all. Just do. Yeah, that's the idea of the whole thing. Anyway, cool. It's so pleasing to have you on, talk about your book and what you've been doing in the city and what will be happening on the 14th of September.
14th of September. Visit our website, pacificaresource.org/Palmapalooza. There's a phone number. You can show up at 1809 Palmetto Avenue, and we will give you all the information you want. It is a good time.
You're a good kid.
Thank you, Bruce. I'm honored and privileged to be here. Thank you.
You're a wonderful guy, man.
Thank you.
Well, I'm pleased to talk with him about his book and then what he's been doing here in this city. Yeah. Well, it feels good to be sitting here. We're almost nearly done with the show, and there's a sort of gentle sort of feeling. It's not just from this here in this studio. it's from all the cities, of course, here in this area. It's for the people that watch on YouTube and throughout the world. You know, it's just a kind of a gentle sort of a scene, and that's what we've been doing. And before long, I'm going to be stepping out and do our 1,000th television show and see what we can do, and trying to figure out how we're going to do it. Are we going to just, you know, make up a series of tapes with people who've been on over 30 years, or do live sort of performance with people, you know, at the moment, at the time. The idea of what I've started to do has sort of was a big sort of a deal throughout the country. And then as time has gone on, and with this economy, and with these people in the political scene, and those who are showing their stripes, it's kind of like, I'm not too sure I want to, you know, sort of do this much longer. So it's been a pleasure. Anyway, we're going to go out right now with Kimrea, and she's on our stage, and the Dreamdogs are with her, and they give us a nice little second feeling of what they're all about. Kimrea, go, go, go.
Years ago, I remember the day I went out for a walk. I ran into you along the way. We stopped to have a nice talk. You were saying something about your grandma's old house, and how she liked to dance in the dark and sing to herself. I remember thinking, you told your story so well. I could almost see her there, dancing and singing myself. It happened suddenly, there was no warning. It took me by surprise, I didn't see it coming. It was then I knew that I loved you then, and nothing ever would be the same again. The years went by, we shared our life, but still it feels brand new, like that moment I first realized I loved you. It's a beautiful day. Let's go out for a walk. We can sit on that old bench. We don't have to talk. I can still see you there at your grandma's old house. I can see her dancing and singing softly to herself. It happened suddenly, there was no warning. It took me by surprise, I didn't see it coming.
Wow. Thank you, folks. Thanks for coming and checking us out and kind of leaving your mark here, on the tree. The other people will be able to come up to and say, "Wow, that was Kimrea. She sure smelled good." Wonderful stuff. And really appreciative. Thank you, of course, Tygarjas, for coming down and talking about your book and talking about the fundraiser, September the 14th. All you people are kind of working on what's happening. Keep yourselves kind of moving along. Kimrea, thank you so much for checking us out. Keep the good stuff rolling out there for people. Okay. All right. We'll talk to you next time around. We'll go out with a little bit of Ron Thompson. Think good thoughts for yourself and all your friends as well, and all the people you know.
Grown up down, I don't